A Ghost Story is an incredibly interesting indie drama directed and written by David Lowery and starring Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. And it is a very weird movie.
When I was little and we used to move all the time, I would write these notes and I would fold them up really small and I would hide them.
What'd they say?
They were just like things I wanted to remember so that if I ever wanted to go back, there'd be a piece of me there waiting.
So it starts off with Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, and they're married, and they're living in this small house, and Rooney Mara seems to want to move to a new house, but Casey Affleck doesn't really want to move, and there's some tension between them. And then pretty early on, there's a car accident, and Casey Affleck is killed. And then you see him like in the hospital, and Rooney Mara comes to see him, and they remove the sheet, then cover them with the sheet, and leaves. And then through a long shot, he stands up and walks around, as the ghost with sheet with eye holes in it. And it is, sometimes it could almost be goofy, but instead it's like kind of haunting, but not scary, but like it's like haunting, where he's just like kind of like, after he doesn't go into the light, he goes home and he tries to connect with his wife that's still living. And you see the wife trying to come to terms with the loss of her husband. And they see that just a silent Casey Affleck in a sheet watching. And it's interesting, but I mean, the movie will test your patience, because pretty early on there's like a 5-minute scene with like no cuts, where Rooney Mara is eating an entire pie and while crying, and it's different. I've never seen a scene in a movie like that, and I think it's almost a little goofy, a little too long. But I see what it's going for, because it is a powerful kind of moment where she's trying to come to terms with it, and you see that the silent ghost just watching. And like there's also this great moment. I think one of my favorite moments of the film is when like she's kind of listening to a song that he wrote and performed, and it's a beautiful song, like by Dark Rooms. Like, I Get Overwhelmed, and I don't know if the filmmaker had anything to do with the song, or if he just found it and it fit with the film, or what. But it's an absolutely beautiful song. Like when I finished the movie, I went on iTunes and bought it, and it's like it really fits the scenes of the movie, and they're really emotional scenes. Like with the first time he played her the song, and now she's listening to it while she's getting ready to move out of the house or move on with her life. And it's a really touching moment. But then pretty soon that that part of the movie kind of ends, and you kind of move on to the next part, where she moves in this Spanish-speaking family moves in. And like I really like these parts, because it's almost like seeing a haunted house movie through the eyes of the ghost, as he's kind of becoming a poltergeist. He's angry about his wife leaving, and there's some cool moments with that I really liked. And there's some weird moments too, like he says hi to a ghost, that in the house next to them. And I wish there was almost more of that stuff, because after that scene, he moves on to another part, and it's just like these like college kids having parties, and there's this like really long monologue from this guy. It feels just a little circle jerky. Like, it doesn't feel real, because like there's a party and this guy is just talking about how everything is gonna die, how like even that it was worthwhile to do anything, that everything is gonna disappear, and anyone you know is gonna die. Then it's this kind of like this whole long monologue, and I couldn't help a feeling that The people in the party are just letting him like talk. Like, I don't know. It feels like something that you would write, like that you know the writer's own words are coming through the character. It feels like something that's not natural. The movie also gets a little timey-wimey towards the end, and it's interesting, but I think that some of the tone of those scenes was a little off from the rest of the movie. But like I wish they'd done a little bit more with some of the stuff. But it's an interesting movie that I don't know if I could recommend it, but you know it's not that long, and it's just really interesting. I've never seen a movie like this, and I don't know if I ever will. Like it's just so different that it's worth a watch. You know, I think I'd probably give like a 7 out of 10. But you know, it's definitely a very interesting movie. Thanks for watching. Check out the other playlists where I'm ahead. Let's grab it over here.